All right, so this is the Excel sheet. I won't be on camera probably for the rest of this video. But so this is 2018. This is the first year where I started keeping track of every single dollar I made. So here we got weeks in a year. First week of the year, right? New Year's, $275 that first week. 1580. Can y'all guess what this is? 19th week of the year. This is Mother's Day. So in this particular year, I was playing with a group, Mariachi Amor, so we would have we had a lot of white people, right, for clients. $1,200 that week of, sorry about that, for Cinco de Mayo, which is a lot for that week of Cinco de Mayo. And then 1,500, right? So 2018 was a pretty good year. Here's the other thing. I took one weekend off. This is the 20th week of the year. This is in July. This is when I was at Texas State Mariachi, and we went to Albuquerque, New Mexico for Mariachi Spectacular when we competed over there. Other than that, I took no week off, and this is a trend here that I'm talking about. See, January always slow, no matter what. It's gonna be slow. Goes up around here, February, March, back down towards beginning of April, mid-April, then back down, and then May. So May, and it goes down. So this would have actually been like 900, but I went to the valley that week and took like half the week off. But so the trend goes down back to summer. I was out of town, in and out and out. Oh man, this here. I talk about this, but another video for why the reason this is 200. Then go back up, and it pretty much averages out in the fall, August, September, October, November, about there, and then boom, the spike here, Dia de la Virgen. And so total I made for that year, $27,457, $522 on average. That was 2018. Let's go to 2019. So 2019, same thing here. Started off slow, 388. Made more than the previous year. Don't know why this is here. So this dip right here, there was don't really know. There just wasn't that many gigs that week. That's how January happens sometimes. Going up and up. This was about Valentine's Day. So not very common that at least for me that we get a lot of Valentine's Day gigs, but we did at this time. So then it goes up and then down, then up and down, up. And then, so here, 590. This is actually Cinco de Mayo. I changed groups this year. After 3.5 years playing with Mariachi Amor, I went to Mariachi Jalisco. Mariachi Jalisco, very different types of clientele. All Mexican clients. So Cinco de Mayo, actually, I'm sorry. I was with Mariachi Jalisco up until about here. I switched to Mariachi Compadres, which is actually the group I still play with today. But same thing, all Mexican clients. We had no Cinco de Mayo gigs. That's just not a thing. 590, just a typical weekend for us at that time. But boom, Mother's Day, $1,752, which was a lot. So that's what I'm saying. 2019, I made the most compared to 1580 here. Right, so $200 more. And this actually wasn't even with Mariachi Mode, if I can remember correctly. It was with different groups I played with at that time, because Mariachi Mode, we wouldn't really do Mother's Day. But then back down 770. I usually always take a break, a couple of days off after Mother's Day, just because, man, this month was insane. Like the next week's 1,070, 1,268, 870, 966, 990. These are just random weeks in May. Nothing special about this. 422. This is the summer. Slows down just a little bit, but kicks right back up. The amount of money was just insane. 440, 568. All this. It was like, what? Where's all this money? This week, I took the weekend off, but I still did one gig during the week. So I kind of don't count it, kind of do in my weeks off that I've taken. But I only did one gig that week. This is a retreat with Crew, a Christian organization at Texas State. But then came right back into it. 855, 899, 4. So 1086. This is San Judas. So those of you that don't know who San Judas is, it's this is a Catholic holiday for Saint Judas of and it's his I believe it's his birthday that day. That's when they celebrate it. It's the last Thursday of every October. So usually around before what's that thing called? Halloween. Then settled off a bit, which is crazy. $600 is like, man, it felt like nothing that next week. Then down 360 of I had finals or exams or concerts. I was at the Lince de Oro Mariachi at this time, I believe. Or no, I possibly. I don't remember. And then boom, 1640 for Virgen. I remember that week. I was so pissed at my group, my boss. I had a physics final at 8 a.m. and we had a mass at 5 a.m. I told him I'm not going to do it. He said, "There's nobody else." I had to do it. Either way, made a lot of money. 1640, and then these are actually 700, but I can't remember why these weren't written. But so the reason is 700. Let's go down here. I made $36,569, and that's with taking off this weekend and other times where I just didn't want to do gigs, passing them off. $703 on average per week. So that's why I put the 700 here, because it was probably around there. The most I ever made. Let's go into 2020. So much to talk about, so little to talk about at the same time. Let's not really get into 2020. I moved back to the Valley all this time up until here when I moved back to Austin to finish off my undergrad at Texas State. So there's a lot of decimals here, and you hadn't seen decimals before, but that's because I had to include favor. If I were to just include mariachi, 20,000 would not even be close. So 1172, that was correct. That's kind of. So yeah, here's the thing. I made $990 in mariachi. This is in the Valley, plus $182 in favor that week. So 1172 technically. So this year, but this year is a wash for not just mariachi, for really anybody and everybody. There's still people that haven't found a job since then. But so 2020 was all crazy. It is an outlier, but since I don't have a whole lot of data, for now I still have to include it. But it was $20,378 a week. I did work some of these weekends, but I cannot remember exactly what I made. Let's get a 2021 currently. So if you notice here, very similar trend to 17 and 18. If you look at these dips and curves and all these things, follows a very similar pattern, right? That Mother's Day and Virgen are always going to jump up. Although this was insane. I don't know why, but so look at 2019, $1,700, right? $1,752 for Mother's Day. $1,190. Why? I don't know. Honestly, I feel like that's wrong, and I wrote it down wrong. But that was it for Mother's Day. Made $900 next week. Cannot tell you what happened. I honestly think this might be wrong, but that's what I wrote, and that's what's there. Then comes, I took some time off here, $120. I took actually that weekend off for my friend's wedding, but I did do a gig during the week, so technically I worked that week. Here there was nothing on the 2nd, like no gigs. 7th is a freeze in Texas, so there was no gigs. Well, there was. I didn't want to do them. I was trying the snow. I couldn't anyways. 44th week. I recently took this weekend off. I was in Austin. I talked about that in the latest podcast episode. So 1260 was again, San Judas. So man, you know that it's crazy. I made more on San Judas week than over here in Cinco de Mayo. I really feel like this is wrong, but there's no way to prove it now. So then 545 that I made last week. Actually got man, this I got money stolen. That's another thing I did not mention. I've had money stolen over the years or lost. That'll be another episode. 600. You see here, I have 600 for the rest of the year, except for here the La Virgen. 2,000 is my goal. Will I reach it? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe 1,500, but 2,000 is what I have here for now. 600 is because I'm averaging right under 600, so I was like, I'll just leave it there. The 51st week of this year is the week of Christmas, which falls on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm taking that weekend off. This is New Year's. I might take it off, still haven't decided. But this is projection. You know, it's same thing, follows this kind of curve. So we look at here. I've only made $120 the first week. So some of this, you know, these down months or weeks might be still because of COVID, right? People still recovering. There's still people still trying to find work. There's things that we're starting to shut down again and open back up and shut down. And so it was still kind of getting through the previous year. But I'm projected to make $30,000 and average $581. So that is how I kept track of everything. Now, man, this video has been a lot longer than I expected it to be, than I had planned for, but it's all important. So one thing I want to show, so y'all can see, well, one, I'm not lying, but my budget sheet. So this is what it used to be. Just stuff that I owe, or credit cards or subscriptions, you know. A lot of this is blank because I've moved it to somewhere else that I'm about to show. Projected income. If I find that 2016 one, I will display it, but I cannot as of right now. So this is where I had my expected savings. I had a vacation, you know, a bunch of stuff. This is what I used before. Then I was like, you know, this is great for keeping track of things that are set, but there's no way to do variables, right, for this. That I did a little bit here, but monthly total 240. I think this is when I moved to the valley. So let's go into my new sheet, which I will actually upload this template for everybody, you know, for y'all can download and use. And if you have any questions on how to use it, or what all this means, let me know. But let's just quickly go through, which was a big month. I think February or May. Yeah, let's go. I guess March is a little more consistent in some ways. I did not make that much. Yeah, so this is one to consider. So here I have not kept track of cash. And that was a big mistake, but I did not keep everything I spent in cash because it's so much easier just to look at my bank statement. So food, I spent, let's zoom in so y'all can see a little better, $900 on food. That is a stupid, ridiculous amount of money to spend on food. Don't ever spend $900 a month on food unless you have like 8 kids. There's no reason I had to. And that's not including cash. So I don't know why I did that. I don't know what I was thinking, but $900 on food, $300 on gas. I didn't need to, probably. And then that's not including all this time where I most likely put gas in cash. Monthly bills, $11.26, and the only reason is less is because my rent was being paid for by my financial aid refund at this time, so I didn't include that, or else I'd be at about $1,600. So then other bills is just kind of hard to explain, but do you guys have any questions on why I put this other bills, what other bills is? It's leave a comment or ask me, message me. I'll explain why other bills are separate. Miscellaneous is really miscellaneous. Could be anything. Buy, I don't know, a tire, It'll be anything. $800 miscellaneous. That's a lot. I spent $3,803 in the month of March, 2021. I made $3,315, and I think, yeah, that's because I had sold something or I got some kind of check or something. I don't really know what, but yeah, it came out negative. This is the amount of money I was spending in 2021. Then I only make $2,000 and I spent $2,500. So it's like I'm aware of how much I'm making, so that's how much I spend. So I was averaging out, which is really bad to do. Don't do that. I was positive $55 this month. That's only because I had this big old check of from a car crash that happened, or else I would have been way negative. And then you go May, June. You know, it follows a trend. So this is what the hell is? Oh, this is last month. I spent I made $4,286. This is including my actual job, so this number is gonna be really skewed. Total expenses was $3,185. So it may not look like it or sound like it, but I am doing a lot better in keeping track of my money, and now I'm including every bit of cash. Now I try to not to spend cash, even though in some ways you should. That's another thing that I'll cover in more videos on when you should when you should use cash and when you shouldn't. So this is basically for the future. I've already calculated things, and let's say so April 2022. I should have $16,500 in cash, just mariachi, by April 3rd of 2022, and 6,000 in savings from my job. Right, so that is the goal. That is what I'm gonna reach, and hopefully this show is still going on by then. We'll actually review that and see if it did happen. Here are things that I owe and things going down and down every month. But that's based off of this. Well, let's go a month before. That's based off of this. My monthly bills, $1,200. There's rent, credit cards, subscriptions, other stuff. Gas and food, I keep it to $50 a week, $20, $50 a week for food, $20 a week for gas. That is a picture perfect world. Spend $1,487 a month. So that is below the 1,600. So that's actually way less than 20 grand a year. So if this keeps on going, I could end up with well over $100,000 in probably was about 4 years if keep making the same amount of money. Now, so this is pretty much the end of the video. I will upload the template for this budget for this, so y'all can use it, can look at it, can kind of guide yourself with it. If any of y'all have any stories, any things you guys want to share of your own financial experiences, how you succeeded or how you failed, let me know. Message me and comment on the video. And I really hope this video was extremely long. They will not be this long. I'm trying to keep these at most 20 minutes, and that's a stretch, but this is just a big introduction to what's going to happen over the next few months. So thank you all guys for listening, and hope to see you all probably next week. See how it goes. All right, I'll see you.